We are here at Puma HQ with their latest signing, Chelsea's and Albania's Armando Broja. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I just wanted to start off, in terms of your pathway into first team football, I would like to just take us back to where you first started. So I just want to know, how did you get scouted and where did that lead you?
Yeah, I was quite a young boy back then, but I remember obviously playing at Burnham Juniors, which was my local team back in the day in Slough. I actually we'd play a few tournaments against obviously other teams in the area and stuff, and we had quite a big tournament at that time where we went to participate in, and a few scouts came down. I believe it was a few Reading scouts, Tottenham scouts, a few from other teams as well, but that was kind of like where the opportunities, come from in those type of tournaments. And I remember that Tottenham actually did come to watch another player at that specific tournament, because they wanted to take him on board. But, I obviously ended up having a great tournament, won best player and top goal scorer. So, Tottenham obviously contacted my parents afterwards and spoke to them. And at that time, obviously, I was so excited because I'd never been to a proper academy before. I know I went on trial to a few like Reading and Fulham and things, but I'd never been to a proper, academy. So yeah, it was just amazing.
And how did you find that when you went into Tottenham? Was that a trial? Did you
No,
go to trial?
so I went for a trial initially. Remember, I went there and we ended up playing against their. So at that time we were called like the shadow team. So we were just like the players that they're bringing into trial. And we played a game against their main academy players. At that age, we were 8, I think, 7, 8. So we ended up playing a game and against them, and I actually played really well. So on the spot there, they just said, we want to sign you. So it was quite cool experience for me, to be honest.
Amazing. And like when you're going through your time at Tottenham, did you play any different positions?
Yeah, when we were obviously at that age, you always want to experiment different positions and things. I obviously played at like everywhere because I pretty much then it was, I think like 7-a-side or something like that. Yeah. So I was playing centre back, goalkeeper, right back, wow, midfielder, winger, everywhere, to be honest. So I was just had all the positions.
So when did the move to Chelsea come about? What was you performing at a level that they were like, oh?
I always supported Chelsea since I was 3 years old. So that was like kind of my dream club and my club that I always wanted to play for, and I was obviously a fan of. So every single time we'd play Chelsea, because we'd obviously play against other academies. Every time we played Chelsea, I always wanted to be like one step better. Yeah. I always wanted to give it 150%, just so I can kind of impress them. And we ended up playing at Cobham one day, and we played against the A and B team. Obviously, I didn't start the game, and I was fuming because I wanted to get on the pitch and actually try and impress the scouts. And we was losing 2-0. I came on and then got a goal and assist, so we drew 2-2, and then went over to the other pitch against the other Chelsea team, and we ended up winning. I think it was like 9-1 or something, and wow, I scored 9 goals. So it was amazing. And then since then, they obviously rang my parents on the phone, and then it was just a no-brainer for me. I just wanted to join them straight away.
So walking into Cobham, getting the tracksuit, the Chelsea tracksuit. Do you remember that day?
I do. I actually remember the day. It was crazy. It was like probably one of the best days of my life. I was so happy, being young boy. I always dreamed of it, and then going around Cobham, went around Stamford Bridge. Saw all the first team players. I was just so excited to join the club and just be a part of it. So it was amazing for me.
And look, as you're going through the years, watching from afar and going to games myself, I could see that you were developing really well, but also now starting to score goals. What was your thinking as you're getting to like the under-16s, under-17s? What was you thinking in terms of your next move? Because one of the first things you looked to do was to go on loan at Vitesse. Some players look to stay in England. What made you decide I'm going to go into Dutch football?
I had a few conversations with players who've been out there before. Obviously, Mason Mount was he's a good friend of mine, so I spoke to him about it. Andy Myers was one of my coaches. He was at Vitesse as well. So there was a lot of people who said good things about about the club, and obviously Chelsea had a good relationship with the club. So for me, I was always, in my brain was, I wanted to get into the first team, but a good opportunity for that is to go on loan and impress people, you know. So that's kind of what my thought process was try and get involved in men's football straight away and try and get that experience and minutes in my legs so I can kind of develop even quicker, you know, than maybe sticking around and, you know, playing the academy games and that. I wanted to kind of go out there and get experience and things. So that's what I just wanted to decide to do, and then, yeah.
And did you, what would you say is the biggest difference for you personally from academy football into the
I mean, at that time I was thinking, right, like, it might not be as hard as you think, but when you actually get there and, you know, you play at that level, it's crazy. I would say it's probably like the intensity of which we actually, like, that they play the game, you know. They just, in training, in games, like the demands are really high, you know, and that's something that's not, obviously it's drilled into us when we were at Chelsea and things, but the demand when you take that step up is even bigger, you know, and you've got to be, everything you do is, you're being watched, you know, so it's like you've got to be on your top game every single time you go out there training all games.
So you have a good season at Vitesse, perfect, where you're actually playing first team football.
Yeah.
Come back to England, Southampton. Talk to me about that when you first went there, and obviously you're going into a different environment again.
Yeah.
So for a young player that's now on loan at Southampton, how did you find the transition into that squad?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm being totally honest with myself, even I thought that it was a big jump to go from, you know, Vitesse straight to the Premier League, and obviously there was no like kind of bridging gap in between where I've gone maybe Championship to Premier League. But I always believed in myself, and I always thought, you know, I know my quality and what I can do, so I knew I could, you know, be a real asset to them and hopefully, you know, to myself as well. So it was obviously difficult to begin with. I mean, it wasn't a smooth sailing journey at the beginning. You know, it was quite hard to get in, and, you know, just, it was an even bigger step up than what it was in Holland and Vitesse, you know, and it was something that, like, I, to be honest, wasn't really ready with at the beginning. And then obviously when I had a few conversations with the other players, the manager and things, I kind of started to understand exactly what they wanted from me and what they wanted for us as a team. And when I started to understand that bit better and, you know, what they expected from me and everything, then it kind of started to click more for me.
And I think if I look back, certain players that head out on loan, they go out, but then it doesn't work out. For you, like that Southampton move where you said it was a bit difficult at the start, but your mentality enabled you to push on, and then you start playing, you start scoring, and then it's like, okay, now you're in the groove.
I mean, like I said, it was difficult at the beginning, but my mentality was always like, right, I'm not obviously playing, I'm not involved in the squad, I'm training. Does the manager even like me? Does he not like me? You know, like, these questions get asked all the time. So in my head, I was just thinking, I'm not obviously involved now, but I'm going to make him pick me. You know, that's always been my thought process. Like, I'm going to show him that, you know, I can do more than the other strikers or do more than other players in my position to obviously get picked, you know. And it started off for me in training, little training sessions here, you know, just working hard and trying to, you know, give the manager a reason to put me and get me involved. So, and then obviously had a few Carabao Cup games in there and stuff where I was getting on and scoring. And went international, obviously helped as well when I went away in international, came back, scored goals. It was good confidence booster for me as well to go out there and show the manager. And then obviously when he gave me my chance, I just wanted to just take it and just not look back.
No, brilliant. And then, look, you end at Southampton on a successful level, you know, scoring goals, starting games, and then you head back to Chelsea, and then you get that goal. Talk to me about, you know, your first goal at Stamford Bridge.
I mean, it was, like I said, one of my best days was signing for the club, but this was even better to, you know, to score for my boyhood club, and it was just a dream come true, you know, also my dad's birthday, which made it even better. But yeah, it was just a special day for me. I mean, I love scoring goals, and it's something that I've always loved doing, and to be able to score at like a place like Stamford Bridge is just special. But yeah, it was amazing.
And then you go from, say, that high to that low of the injury.
Yeah.
Was that one of the most serious injuries you've had in your career?
Yeah, it's definitely the most serious I've had. Yeah, probably one of the biggest lows that I've had also so far, you know, in terms of like the mentality side and being away from the sport for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't easy.
So how do you cope with that? What have you learned from that experience?
I mean, obviously being away for so long, I was just sitting there watching all the games, analysing. You see all your teammates training and you're not involved, and it's just a headache. But you know, I was obviously really close to normally really close to my family always, but it made me even closer to them. You know, they were helping me out every single day. But for me, just kind of just looked back, and it just made me realise how much I actually do love the sport, and how much I care about the sport, and how much I want to, you know, progress and do the best for myself and for the team.
Brilliant. And then for you, at Chelsea now, there's a lot of young players, right? It must be a really good environment to play in, and you've had 2 positive recent results. One that where you came on and had a real big impact against Man City. What's your thought process as you're coming on into that game?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of players will get a bit frustrated with, let's say, the lack of minutes that they receive or stuff like this, if they're not getting enough game time and things. For me, it's just kind of, I know I've come back from obviously a big injury, and I need to obviously now show myself and prove myself again, you know, to the manager or to the staff and the club and the fans and everything. For me, I'm obviously really blessed to be in the position that I am, and I'm really grateful that I have the opportunities to impact games and come on and help the team. So yeah, my thought process was just come on, and obviously we were losing at the time, so I wanted to come on and try and get a goal back, or try and, you know, help the team out if I can. And yeah, thankfully I did do that, and 2 minutes later I think, or something like that, which was good. So
that ball is coming into the box.
Yeah.
What made you decide to just dummy it or?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I saw Raz get on the ball, so I thought, right, I'm seeing obviously Nico running behind, and he's dragged the centre back with him. There's a big gap behind, and Kyle Walker's quite far away. So I thought, yeah, if Raz plays this ball, then I'm going to be kind of one-on-one with the goalkeeper. So he's obviously played the ball and then controlled it with my thigh. But in the corner of my eye, I had a feeling that, like, obviously Ruben Diaz was flying across. So it was kind of like a last second type of thing where I wanted to obviously control it and shoot.
Yeah.
You know, that was my initial thought. But as I've seen him come in, I thought, I'm going to let him dive in and then kind of take the ball to the right and then shoot. But obviously he's just swiped my leg as well, which wasn't good. But then obviously won the penalty, which was top, and then Cole scored. So.
And probably my last question to you is the hardest defender you faced?
The hardest defender I've faced? Yeah, I've played against a lot of defenders, to be honest. You've obviously got the ones like Van Dijk was good to play against. Konate as well. He was good. He was good to play against. I mean, because they're just really like tall, physical, fast. You know, they have a lot of attributes that I have as well. So it's like, but yeah. I mean, every defender I think is difficult to play against. Yeah, every defender is difficult to play against. It's just on yourself, kind of. You know, on what level you play at, then that determines how you perform. But yeah, it's probably the Liverpool centre backs are quite good.
Oh, well, thank you for taking your time, and congratulations on your Puma deal.
Cheers, thank you very much.
I wish you all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you.